Free screen Hairtile screen or VR, which is the best emulator? This is a lot of people's exposure to simulated racing cars, the most concerned issue. Then these three options have their own advantages and disadvantages. Today I will start with visual effects from the battlefield, and the three core dimensions of realistic driving migration capabilities. Combined with my decade of racing simulators and several years of real-world racing experience, help you find the most suitable solution for yourself. Let's talk about the single-screen solution with the lowest threshold first. Trust more than 90% of players. First contact with a racing emulator. They all make do with the computer screen or TV at home. That's how I got here. After all, who wouldn't want to spend the least amount of money getting on the bus quickly? The advantages of a single screen are obvious. The cost is extremely low. Off-the-shelf equipment can be used. Doesn't take up space. Just place the emulator on the table. Even if a set of single screens is installed separately, floor space. And that's about 5 meters by 80 centimeters. And strong single screen compatibility. All games can run. Because there is no racing simulation software that does not support single screen. But its flaws are also fatal. The field of view is severely limited and the sense of speed is not enough. For users who switch from real cars to emulators, it will be more difficult to adapt to a 16:9 screen. You can only see a few lost bodies in the rearview mirror. Overtaking is all about feeling. And the radar function in the game is completely impossible to practice. In real driving, you need to turn your head to observe. This habit is very easy to appear, thinking that the opponent has been outdone. The result is not complete accidents caused by direct closing of the door. Placing a single screen will form a habit for a long time. I just switched from emulator to real car. Because emulators rely on screen prompts for a long time. I can't even turn my head. Looking in the rearview mirror doesn't move your head. Just aim with your eyes. It also took me a long time to correct this problem. A lot of people run real cars without looking in the rearview mirror. It may also have something to do with this. And if there is no need for color enhancement, if you have to use a single screen, I suggest choosing more than 32 inches, 144 Hz high swipe screen. 27 inches would be a bit too low. And if a single screen wants to improve the field of view, then it can only be the solution of Hairtile screen. The essence of the Hairtile screen is a widened single screen. Common ratios are 21:9 and 32:9. I suggest using 32:9 if you want to use it. 21:9 actually, the field of vision is not much different. I'm using a 1000 curvature Samsung G949 inch. It is equivalent to putting the 27-inch screens bend into an arc. The field of view can cover the windshield and one-sided rearview mirror. Can see the vehicle behind the side. The disadvantage is that the screen height is lower. The new 57-inch G9 would be more suitable. Equivalent to 32-inch screens spliced together. Height is closer to reality. When the cockpit retains a curved track like this, you can see more details of the road from the periphery of your eyes. The sense of speed comes up all of a sudden. I'll share another trick. We can also use this dual screen mode under a single screen. You can adjust the sides separately to see more content. This depends on everyone's needs to use it. Then this plan, I think it is more suitable. There is not enough space at home. But I also want better driving, users with vision requirements. And this plan, the requirements for computer configuration will not be too high. The software doesn't need to be specially set up. A single screen solution like mine, it uses a bracket with a ComSpeed GT belt. It's pretty solid. It's a very small footprint. This finished bracket, such a set goes together, it will be almost 1.5 meters by 90. This footprint, if you want a single screen with a wide field of view, it's a very small footprint, then I recommend this plan. And want the screen view to be close to the real car, that can only use 3-screen scheme. The screens on both sides can be adjusted according to the angle. See more images on both sides. This is a more mature solution for simulating racing cars at present. This 3-screen immersion, it cannot be given by ordinary single screen and Hairtile screen. Commodities force you to turn your head and look. Insist that you have to turn your head to look at the blind spot before the car changes lanes. You have to do the same for product simulations. It is relatively helpful to increase the income of public housing skills transfer, but the overall cost of the goods will be higher. The first is that it occupies a relatively large area. A set of 32-inch unfolded products. That's about it. It has to occupy a width of about 1.5 meters to 1.8 meters. For users in expensive areas, it's a luxury to pack goods. If you want a 60-inch large screen, restore the feeling of being close to the cockpit of a real car. That's basically half the room gone. I have assembled a 65-inch item before. The width takes up 3 meters. Very exaggerated. Then there are configuration issues. Because in 3-screen mode, 3 screens are rendered together. Therefore, the requirements for computer configuration are relatively high. In addition, 3 screens are also required to learn the ability of point software settings. Either install a 3-screen or a 3-screen mode. I found that many people install 3 screens. Single screen mode is used. The sides are stretched display. Although most of the current simulation racing software, it is relatively simple to adjust the 3-screen mode. But there are still some software settings that are more complicated. Like LMU, you have to manually change the file to do it. This product is adjusted, very troublesome. Then the main 3-screen solution, it is recommended that you buy the same batch of monitors. Otherwise, there may be obvious color difference. If you go to the classroom, it is also difficult to adjust to be close to the same. It will be obvious at the seams. Up there, it's a race car simulation. The most widely accepted program currently. Wide field of vision plus enough configuration. The screen can be uploaded to a relatively high resolution. However, although the product is a relatively mature solution at present, but because the actual picture is still flat and fixed, so no matter how you turn your head, the content seen in the screen is still the same. Appeal blind spots are fixed. It's a bit different from a real car. It's not a real 3D environment. It has to have this kind of true 3D immersion. At present, only the VR solution can be used. VR is something that I've always found very suitable for simulating racing cars, except for the small footprint. 3D immersion in VR. It's not a screen at all. It is very helpful for real car driving. With VR, you can feel like you're actually sitting in a car. Just because the early technology was immature, additional positioning is required, and the display resolution is not high enough. There are also installation and use troubles. It's hard to be accepted by everyone, including myself. Sell it and buy one brand of equipment to try it out. It is easy to use and the clarity is enough. It's my requirement for VR. I tested the Crystal Light sent by Shopee a few months ago. After a few months of use, it makes me feel, as long as your computer configuration is not too low and without this 3D vertical, this equipment is perfect for you to practice driving. The most satisfying thing about Shopee CrystalNet is that installation settings are very simple. Plug in the power cord. DP interface connected to the computer graphics card. Just complete the hardware part. Driver installed on computer. As long as your computer configuration is not too low and without this 3D vertical, this equipment is perfect for you to practice driving. The most satisfying thing about Shopee CrystalNet is that installation settings are very simple. Plug in the power cord. GP interface connected to the computer graphics card. Just complete the hardware part. Driver installed on computer. Greatly saves the preparation time in the early stage. And the footprint, it is also very stable. Only in an environment with all the lights off. Occasionally this displacement occurs, and the clarity. Shopee LearningNet directly achieves dual 4K resolution, PPD value to 35. If the PPD exceeds 30, the pixels cannot be noticed. This resolution is in VR. That is, there is no screen feeling. My subjective feeling is, it's about the same as looking at this 2K monitor. In VR, the definition is already very high. And the screen is OLED plus mini LED, this material. With high transparency spherical glass lens. Color performance and sweet spots are very good. But you have to experience this for yourself and feel the effect. Because the screen can shoot this actual effect. That little Pi Crystal Night's official promotion FOV is 130 degrees. I actually feel it's around 110 degrees. You will feel the black edge on the left and right sides. But in fact, this is for a simulated racing car. It happened to be simulated. This is a real-life racing car with a helmet. Personally, for my driving needs, it feels good too. So VR is by far the best immersion solution. Now equipment is cheaper than goods. Shopee CrystalNet handles that. There is also a contract model now. Down payment for $1,899. If you cooperate with the national supplement, it is $4,164. You can buy it out by paying $1,987 later. The total price is $6,151. But there are also disadvantages to VR devices. Like picking people, you need to not be stunned by VR. This is actually when I first came into contact with VR. If the resolution is turned on, it will require higher requirements, so you can buy it and try it if you need it. Shopee is supporting this 14-day free experience. Stay if you think it is suitable, from single items to commodities to VR now. I've seen iterations of racing emulators. But there's really no endgame as to what to use, only suitable or not, if you are like me. I want to use the feeling closest to a real car or a simulated racing car. Develop the muscle memory of racing cars. Then VR is definitely the current optimal solution. The next best thing is to wear helmets, but no matter which one you choose. The key is the moment you get into the cockpit. The pure joy of motorsport is the most critical overall. Single items are suitable for limited budgets. Starter players who lack space offer a better perspective. However, there are certain technical limitations. The product is a currently mature plan. It's huge, insufficient immersion. And VR devices like Shopee CrystalNet, with excellent immersion, portable installation and excellent display, become a new option for simulator racing. Everyone can choose according to their actual situation. Choose the best racing emulator for yourself. I hope the content shared today is helpful to everyone. Thank you for watching this video. If the video is helpful to everyone, welcome to follow our channel. One-click support for 3 years. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.